Hi guys, this is Yannick Goldenzen. Welcome to my studio, and this is what this video is about. My studio. I thought I'd give you a little studio tour. Got some requests for it, and maybe some of you will find it interesting. I certainly always find it interesting to see other composers' studios, and so maybe it's best if you come down here and look through my eyes how things are set up here. So basically, when you enter my home, this is the first thing you see, so you know right from the very start what's going on. This is my piano, and you can see we got a little bit of a shrine going on here. Yeah, pretty clear what I'm about, am I right? This is just a small selection of the things that I got, the things James Bond, but this is not what we're here for. So anyway, up on here we got a banjo, we got ourselves a Telecaster, and of course the piano, where I sometimes like to write the tunes, or sometimes also just mash the keys a little bit, because I'm very much into blues and, you know, rock and roll, boogie boogie, all this type of stuff. And right next to it we have this comfortable couch, where I like just to, you know, sit back on, kick back, maybe watch a movie, you know, contemplate on some ideas, watch a movie with the score that I maybe just had done, just listen to stuff with a little bit of distance. So you can see this is approximately the distance, and we're just gonna, you can see how this looks. It looks like this from this point of view. Perfect. You can see on the screens. You can hear perfectly thanks to the loudspeakers. So this is the most important thing from the whole studio, because this is the master keyboard. I control everything on the computer with this keyboard, right? So I play here. I can do the performances, you know, with all the knobs and levers and buttons and stuff like that. And I can play it here, always using, you know, the famous BBC2, the breath and bite controller by Tech Control. And yeah, there's a reason why I put it here, because first I had it, you know, kind of here, and you can see also when I adjust, you know, the seat, it's kind of uncomfortable in this setup, you know, and I couldn't rest my arms and anything, and I couldn't really access the keyboard. Also, when I had it up here, it was just not working for me. It was uncomfortable, I felt, and so I put it here, and on this monitor here, that's slightly, you know, pan in my direction. I can look at the scenes, you know, like this. I sit like this. I can play and look at the scenes and perform. You know, this is it's shown to be quite a good way to, you know, to make things, and it just works perfectly. So now we're going to look at some technical things. So I have two JBL near-field monitors. I have a pair of cordless headphones, you know, so I can walk around the house and just listen to things that I have done, or just listen to music in general. Now this is my audio interface. This is by Universal Audio. It's an Apollo Twin. One of the most expensive audio interfaces that I have seen, or that could fit my budget, but it's really worth the money, because it's really top-notch when it comes to processing effects and mastering, mixing, instrument effects and all that. And the great thing about this device is it does not only process the sound, it also functions as a device that applies the effects. So some effects come from within here, which takes away some of the work from the computer, so the computer has less to do and more free space for other things, and I can do the effects on this thing. You can see I have different recording means. The lines, I can link two channels. This is basically for the recording of the synthesizers. I have also the microphone stuff, and yeah, just the, you know, the volume of everything. Then we'll skip ahead. This is the Roland R8 drum computer. It has some really good drum pad action. I sometimes use it as a MIDI input device just to record drums, or it has very rich retro and modern kind of drum sounds, so sometimes I also use this as the actual drum computer with the sounds that are on it. And we have two synthesizers here. One time it's the famous, or to some infamous, DX7 Yamaha from 1983. Has some beautiful synthesizer sounds, and on top of it we have the legend, the Juno 60. It's a polyphonic synthesizer, but has a lot of that raw analog technology. I still use this quite frequently on the soundtracks, not only 80s kind of productions or stuff, but you can do really nice effects and you know, pads, low rumble stuff and sound effects with this device, so this is really not outdated to me. It still proves to be a very good companion in the studio. And then last but not least, we have this, as I call it, the Tower of Power. It's a great selection of synthesizers and samplers. Those are mainly for pads great synthesizer sound effects, just stuff that you basically have in your digital libraries today, like Complete or whatever you use. There are a lot of digital counterparts of these instruments, but those are the originals. That the sounds have been copied from them, and they just have a certain fatness and richness that sits in the mix very nicely. That, in my experience, sometimes a digital counterpart just can't substitute. So I have a few of them. A few Pro Toys, very famous Wave Station, great for pads and stuff like that. And down here we have the very famous Yamaha A5000 sampler. This one I used heavily on my last compositions for GoldenEye Swords, to create those deep, synthesized, processed sounds, kind of unearthly but still very organic sounds, like Eric Serra used to do it. This has been a really great thing for me. It's also a really heavy device. So basically, there you have it. That's what I use, and that's basically my setup. And you may ask myself, well, what about those big kind of mixer and consoles, and what about effect units? Like the racks that you see in the studio, those huge towers. With I don't know, reverb and all kinds of effects. Well, that's the kind of thing that I like to avoid, because I like a lot of space. I like to have some blank space to rest my arms and to just to lean back and just to have a clean environment. Because this is very good. This is integrated in my living room. I can at any point I can go, even when I do my daily things. When I'm watching a DVD or doing some office stuff. I can just dive in and I have anything and everything at my fingertips, and I can just start working. But when I have a huge console and stuff and effect units, the effect units are in fact in this little Apollo Twin device that I talked earlier before. So this really saves a lot of space you would use actually for those kind of processing units. And as for the console, I don't really need that. I can do a lot of things in my computer. I once had a little kind of console. It sat here where the drum computer now is, but I just didn't need it, because I get used to working with the mouse, and so that works quite well for me. And why have clutter your space with stuff you don't need? So this is really reduced to the maximum, so to speak, as some people like to say. Yeah, so this is basically it. I really love this studio. It's really in my living environment. It's really inspiring. It's really great to work here. And I think it's got everything covered mostly. And I think it's a great fusion, between, like I said, old technology, old raw power sound sources, and some of the comforts that you grow accustomed to with the computer and today's technology. So I think it's really best of both worlds, and that's why I love to work with it so much. I hope this was a little insight. I hope you found this interesting. If you got any questions, as always, write in the comment section. Always, I'm not mad if you're going to like or comment anyway. Okay, so take care. We'll see, or maybe hear us the next time when I upload something. Take care, and bye-bye.